The part two, like the data reprocessing. Uh, this submission request to 2.1. All the steps are mentioned and by the student the purpose of the data. For the first thing, we need to import the data set which is in the CSV format into the Excel. For this, I open the blank Excel workbook. Later on, click the data tab and then open the option from the text CSV. Click on that. Then I imported the sales data. Then transformed it the data and saved it. Now, I have used Excel in order to pre-process the sales data. At first, I have checked all the nut values for all the columns and I did not find any null values. For this, I use a filter in order to check each column for the nutshell and I produce all the columns to produce the names and have extends if commas in the values. This may cause problems when some inquiry is running on data set. So the data pre-processing need to be done before we use. Therefore, we need to replace the commas found values of the amplitude and the product name with the hyphen. So I use the find and the replace. The option not to find the comma and the replaced with the hyphen. I just click the data, it's cleared completely. Now I need to export the clean data into CVS file. We use reopen tool, which we use some clutches functions to find any duplicates for the state and also zip codes. So there's no cluster of the state for below. As we have added cluster features to the habitude, here we need to various methods and keys to cluster. And we see no recommendation clusters that we say there is no copy false spell and I wait for it manually when we didn't see clusters here. Later, later on, when after I verify there's I didn't see any cluster and I did verify it manually. Then later on I started like each city has the 5 digital pin codes after clustering. By this method is to attribute of the postal codes, the word key collisions and the kindling, and it have various 4-digit pin codes. Uh, as I seen the following screenshot in the Ingram fingerprint, the scale is 5 to postal code. After the cluster and I simplify, display the postal code, I observe that the value of 4-digit seems that they have 0. As I started by uh, example like 1040, but actually it's a Lawrence, but actually the postal code 014. So I need to add 0 as a specified value for the 4-digit. So the about the inquiry using padding is an action adding 0 to the left to right. So the text value we just reaches a certain static length. The padding function can be used to open find if we lost the leading 0 while importing and transferring of data. Now I'm adding the another column named the postal code, that is make sure that all the codes have the 5-digit expense 0 to form. In the below screenshot, we can have the 4 digits are processing in data. I've checked for all the phases, all the attributes for the postal code, sailings, quantity, discount, and profit. They have text factors, individually numerical factors. I changed them numerical. Now explore this file, save as a sales record clean.csv. Uh, Later on you can find there's the different cities where I have factored and filtered like Alabama, Arizona, Alaska, California, Colombia. Later on I divided all these range like city, state, postal codes and the region. They're divided based on the region, the postal code and the different. Later on, the process is to take this the refined data set and upload it in the cluster. The part three, the Hadoop ecosystem, the Hive. Basically, the Hadoop ecosystem software and the tools that offer different different resources for solving large-scale data issues. It covers the project of the approaches and different tools and the solutions for the business. The Hadoop, the HDFs or the map reduced yarn and the Hadoop common have four components. Most tools and the technology compliance we take lunch under these imported elements. This took all the together or provided resources such as data absorption, analysis, data management, and repair, etc. Our data comes from the external sources where we procedure it. We imported the file system distributed through Hadoop. We just empty our data into a cloud storage before we use it more. Now we need to upload the data file to the data set in the cluster. Before transmitting the data into HDFS, we need to create a directory. We use a command like hdfs minus mkdir slash user slash sahith ready 2509 slash data slash. Then we should run the code in that. Later on, we create the data. We'll find the three items which are like says data. Now we need to take the other directory, then we need to run the data, and then we dump the data into data folder. Then from the cloud storage bucket, after we imported the file, we needed to connect the Hive Lab using the command called beeline minus ujbs hive, the local host. Then we run the command. We will get the result like connecting JBS Hive to, and is the bean version of the Aperture Hive. The next step is we create the table which is non-extending. First, so then we need to run the code the create external table. If not exists the salesman, uh, we need to type manually the row format deline storage to text file location which you runs like users slash site and data set. Then we need to create a scan for the database for the creating the external table. If not creating the external, we need to follow the commands of the row string order, ID string order, date string, the script date string, and the customer ID, customer name string, segment string, country string, city string, state string, postal code string, zip code string, and the region string, product ID string, category string, subcategory string, and the product name string, sales double, and quality discount double, and profit double. The raw format, there's the five top stages the company must have customers to select to get the following query. So select the state count as the number customer from the sale date grouped by the state order by the numerical customer. Later on, we will get the state-wise result like California, New York, Texas with the number customer code like 201112. This row selected like 7%. In order to get the next top zip codes area, we need to get the best sale amount. We need that is the high sale figure. Then select the postcode. Sum has the sum of the sales from the sale. If I goes by the postcode out by the sum of this sales design limit by the 10. Then we get the result of the postcode postal code from the top 10, and the sum of the sales were then in the top 10 postal code. This is how we will get the data, get the data of the high highest sales figure and the most number of customers with the in the inquiry.